Hello, it's St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2020. I don't know how to vlog. I've done it before, but I don't know how. But I want to start because I enjoy watching vlogs. And my favorite kind of vlogs are of people doing their everyday things around their house, which is bizarre to even say out loud, but it's true. And no one in my family or none of my friends, I think, really understand that, but it's it's a thing that I like, and I should not be embarrassed by it. If you can hear my voice, I'm a little bit under the weather. Not the best time to be under the weather. I have strep throat, or I had strep throat. Went on a course of antibiotics for 10 days, and I believe now I have some kind of either allergy because I'm sneezing. My coughing stopped, sort of. I'm still coughing a little bit from, I think, the remnants of the strep throat, but not really anymore. So from the research that I've done, sneezing is not a symptom of that illness that we're all dealing with right now. So I'm just trying to, even though I don't think that's what it is, trying to stay inside. Either this will be a daily vlog or a weekly vlog or something vlog. It's 8:45 in the morning. I dropped my husband off at the train. He's still going into work every day. They just closed the restaurants and bars indefinitely. Schools are all closed. Right now I'm just finishing up a cup of decaf coffee. And yeah, I don't know, let's see how this goes. I'm watching YouTube. I just finished breakfast, put in a load of laundry, I ate my breakfast. If you know me and you've been watching the yoga channel for a while, maybe like, oh, I thought you were vegan. I was a vegan for 4 years. I've been a non-vegan for 1 year. It's for health reasons. I just recently also started gluten-free and dairy-free again. So I had a dairy back for a year. I'm trying dairy-free or at least dairy limited for health reasons, and I may disclose why in a future video. I'm just not ready to do that at this moment in time. So yes, I'm eating meat, I'm eating eggs. I'm not happy about it, but I am happy about it because I'm not happy about it because of moral reasons. Obviously, I was vegan for the animals. I am happy about it because it's more convenient. I am happy about it because I feel like I can eat. I'm trying to proactively do something for my health. Disagree or agree, this is how I'm living my life at this moment. I will probably be a vegan again in the future, but that won't be for a while at this point because I have some life goals I'd like to accomplish. I know I'm being super cryptic right now. These life goals kind of coincide with my health. I need my health to be a certain way in order to achieve these goals. Anyway, I'm done speaking in riddles. So it's a lot later now. My husband just got home. He's in the shower. We were going to have two of his friends over because it's St. Patrick's Day. We were going to have them over because they're actually visiting from Ireland, so they don't really have anywhere to go since all the bars and restaurants are closed. They're just sitting in their hotel room, but they're a bit afraid to leave the hotel room. So they're not coming anymore. I'm probably just going to cook dinner. Don't know if I'm going to be doing anything else interesting this evening, but I'll keep you posted. Good morning, it's the next day. I, just as I did yesterday, dropped off my husband at the train. He's still going to work. However, we heard news this morning that the mayor may order a shelter in place for the city. So I'm not really sure what that means, but I'm assuming it means that we have to take shelter in our homes, which probably means he won't be able to go to work. All anyone can do is stay positive. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to work from here today as I usually do. Yesterday I did a load of towels. Today I think I need to wash the rest of the clothes, but I'm not sure if I should wait until my husband comes home so I can get his clothes. I know this is a very interesting story. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I am feeling better. I'm hoping that whatever I have is going away. I have definitely been staying home. After I drop my husband off, I don't really go out. I have to go out to do the laundry. So when I go, it's just in the basement of my apartment building. So I have to exit the building and go into another entrance. So basically what I'm doing when I'm there, there's usually no one in there. Wash my hands before I go, sanitize the doorknob of my apartment, wash my hands when I get back. That's all I can do, really. I have to do my laundry. Everyone's just doing the best they can. Probably shouldn't be touching my eye right now. I saw a meme that said, things I learned about COVID-19. It was like, bacteria can spread through this, and frequent hand washing is the best way to prevent the virus. And then the last one was, I love touching my face, which I thought was funny. Because it's true. You don't notice how much you touch your face until you're told that you can't touch your face. I thought that was funny. Talking to a camera is a lot less satisfying than talking to a human. I just thought this was funny, so I went to go get my AirPods, and I remembered that I hadn't disinfected them at all, and I've been putting them in my ears, which is stupid. So I was like, what can I use? And I have this packet of Clorox wipes, this travel pack that I have been rationing because there's none left at the store. So I was like, should I use one? There was only 9 in the pack. I've used like maybe, I don't know, 5 or something. So I'm over since I've had it. So I'm rationing these. There it is, the one that I just used to sanitize or disinfect or whatever my AirPods.
Closed in both directions by Fairview Avenue. It's a crash investigation. This report sponsored by Dunkin'. Dunkin' Go-Tos are great deals on 2 of your Dunkin' favorites for $2, $3, $4, or $5. You can never have too much of a good thing. America runs on Dunkin'. No substitutions. Exclusions apply. Participation may vary. Must buy 2. Got a traffic tip call 212-377-7757. Else 24/7. I'm Bernie Viter with total traffic on Z100. New York City weather. A mix of sunny clouds and a high of 55 today. Then tonight down to 44 with rain moving into the overnight. That goes through tomorrow morning, and then clouds break for sun tomorrow with a high of 50. Right now 43 at Z100. This report brought to you by Robert Penn.
I will tell you again these very painful facts about the situation in our city right now. Confirmed cases as of the last count this morning, already 12,339 New Yorkers have tested positive for COVID-19. I want people to understand that at this point, we're about 60% of the cases in New York State are here in our city. About 35% of the cases in the entire country are here in this city. We are the epicenter of this crisis. No one wants that distinction, not a single one of us, but it is true that we are the epicenter of this crisis. And that's why we so desperately need help, particularly from our federal government, to get through it. As I said, as of this moment, 99 confirmed deaths related to coronavirus. We know more are coming, and that, again, those are not statistics. Those are human beings. Those are friends. Those are loved ones. The breakout by borough. Queens has 3,621 cases. Brooklyn, 3,494. Manhattan, 2,572. The Bronx, 1,829. And Staten Island 817. It's a very tough time, but it is not a time for people to give up, to say the least, because this fight has just begun. It is not a time for hopelessness because we finally see things starting to happen. And first and foremost, New Yorkers are making things happen. We're going to fight every day to stay ahead of this curve. We're going to literally be in a race against time. Want to make clear, as we all get into this new reality, we all have been told, I think, very, very clearly to think about the difference between what's essential and what's not essential. At this point, since we passed 8 p.m. Last night, non-essential businesses, non-essential activities are a part of the past, and that's going to be true for weeks to come. So non-essential businesses close down. The things we all used to think were normal, the things we used to do for leisure and fun, the things we used to spend time and money on, we're not doing that anymore, honestly. We're doing something different now. So essential businesses are what are allowed to be open: grocery stores, pharmacies, food establishments that provide delivery and takeout. Obviously, the kinds of businesses that we are going to depend on to get through this. And another thing we have to recognize will be different. We're New Yorkers, we're used to crowds, we're used to lines, we're used to being close together. Not anymore. We're not going to allow crowds to form. We're not going to allow lines where people are tightly packed next to each other. We're not going to allow any indoor space to get overcrowded. We're not going to allow outdoor spaces to get overcrowded. From this point on, everyone needs to understand social distancing, 6 feet apart on every side. The obvious exception is when you're with the people who live under the same roof with you. The family, whatever the composition of your family, those you live with. Obviously, that's different because you're in close proximity all the time. And if you live with someone else and you're out on the street just the same way as you would be living together, close together, that's fine. We understand that. But for people who you do not live under the same roof with, you're going to have to practice the social distancing, and we're going to help. The City of New York, all our agencies will be there to educate people, to remind people, to warn people, sometimes to step in and help people create more separation. We're going to be doing that very, very energetically from this point on. And we've made clear that everyone we understand who has to go out for groceries or for medicines or for a little bit of exercise or walk the dog, that's okay, but for as little time as possible. And there are some people who should not go out, and those are the folks who are the most vulnerable, the folks who really have to avoid any other contact with other people. And that means, especially outside their family, obviously, and that means folks over 70, and folks with those serious pre-existing conditions, medical conditions. And also, I want to say to my fellow New Yorkers, this week's going to be decisive. We want to see how this is going. We're going to work with the state of New York to figure out what the rules, I should say, will be for the longer term. This week is our chance to test different approaches. We need to make sure people will practice social distancing in our parks and playgrounds. And if we don't think it can be done, we're going to have to come up with tougher rules. So it really is incumbent upon all New Yorkers to do your damnedest to live by this new reality. As our officers go around monitoring and enforcing, the more we see people practicing social distancing, the more we see people avoiding crowds and really creating some space, the more we can allow folks the opportunity to use parks and playgrounds fully. If we see that we're just not seeing enough evidence of people getting the message, we're going to be tougher about getting that message out and more enforcement. If that's still not working, we could easily get to the point soon where we say, you know what, we're not going to be able to allow playgrounds to be open. I don't want to do that. I don't think a lot of New Yorkers want to see that happen. But the only way we keep playgrounds open is if people really honor the rules, don't overcrowd them. We don't need family groups mixing with each other. We don't need kids playing with kids outside their families. I know it's strange. I know it's difficult. I really do. But this is the reality we have to make sense of. So if everyone is tough and strong as New Yorkers are, we can find a way to strike that balance. We know that's going to be tough as the weather gets warmer, but again, that's just for the duration of this immediate crisis. And then when we get through it, we can go back to normal.